Our next guest on The American Dream is also from Salt Lake City. She's a realtor, stager, and designer with Coldwell Banker Residential in Farmington Station. Please welcome back to the program, Catherine Elliott. Catherine, thank you for coming on to The American Dream today.
Thank you, Sarah. Great to be back.
It's always great to have you, too. So I wanted to ask you, this might seem like a silly question, but why can't people just move out of their house to sell it?
Yeah. It does seem kind of preposterous, doesn't it? So a lot of times people are given really poor advice. An agent will come along and tell them, or they hear or see online, that staging means stripping down your house to the bare minimum. So people go through, they edit, they take out everything that gives that home personality, and they just have furniture sitting in the middle of a space. Which means that really that it just looks like a house with furniture sitting in the middle of the space. It doesn't look like a home. And then when people completely move out so that their home's empty, and that's bad advice as well, that same problem exists in that the buyer that's looking at those pictures online and trying to make that emotional connection that's so critical for an offer sees that home and they see it as a house. They don't see it as a home that they could identify with or emotionally connect to. There's nothing in that space telling the story of that home. And so unfortunately, the story remains untold and they're on to the next listing.
All right, so kind of missing a little bit of that maybe emotional connection. I know we've talked about that on here, but yeah, I feel like as a buyer, you probably want to walk into a property and like really imagine yourself in that home.
Unless that can happen, an offer just won't materialize.
All right, so why does it make such a big difference to have sellers work with you?
Well, what we offer sellers is unparalleled. There's nobody else doing what I do. I own my own staging company and my own inventory, so I can go in and in instances where people need to move out of their home or they've, been scalped down to bare minimum, we can go in and literally anywhere from an empty house to just changing around what they already have or augmenting just a little bit. We do not charge for this service, so we can come in and literally craft the product that home needs to be to identify with the buyer that's most likely going to buy that home. And we do a very extensive buyer demographic profile that we dig into the lifestyle of those buyers, literally sculpting this home into the product that they would most likely buy, anywhere from where they eat, recreate, dine, how they entertain, and most importantly, their lifestyle and the design aesthetic that they're most attracted to. We know that there's a lot of new construction right now because there's a shortage of inventory. So sellers need to realize what they're really up against when they are getting ready to sell their home and how it is comparing with comparable homes that might be in a similar price range but look like a model home. So that's really our job. We're going in, we're crafting this model home atmosphere so that people can walk into the photos they fell in love with, like they're walking into the dream that they fell in love with their dream home, instead of a home that's just empty or has been unaddressed, because the name of the game is you really have to compete in this market with all the new construction.
All right. Well, I know you've also got a listing today, so maybe that could be somebody's future dream home. And I saw the before and after pictures, and you also have a beautiful video walkthrough. So I'm just going to have you take it away.
This home is a perfect example of what we're talking about, Sarah. This home was empty. There was just a few furniture pieces remaining in the front living room area. You can see the brown sofa there that's there. But just the stark difference of what you see in the before pictures of how the home was being marketed and the after is astounding. It doesn't even look like the same space. And everything that you see there, we brought in. So it's not a typical staging contract where somebody might hire a staging company to come in. It not only will cost you thousands of dollars, but to the level that we have staged this home, it would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. So when you're using a staging company, it's typically you're going to get a certain amount of package deal kind of put together, and it could range anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 just for basic things. And when I say basic, that's none of the accents, the home decor, the extensive lighting, the artwork and things that we bring in. None of that is included in those staging packages. So be leery of that, because a lot of times agents will say they'll stage your home, and what they really mean is that they'll come in and rearrange what you already have, or they'll make suggestions of a staging company that you can hire to come in and do it. But as you can see from these pictures, everything that we have crafted and created here is creating this red thread moving through the home, so we are not taking people out of this dream that they've created from seeing these pictures online. Everything stays in the home until it is sold. And even all the way through until after appraisal, till it looks like there's no glitches and everything's going to go through as planned and scheduled on deadlines. We leave it there without any charge to the seller. So the benefit and the value is unprecedented. We challenge people all the time. We dare you to go find a better option than what we can offer, just simply because what we do is very successful. It enables us to sell our listings 73% faster and 15% higher.
All right. Well, the real deal, certainly. Thank you so much, Catherine Elliott. We always appreciate your insight here on The American Dream.
Thank you.
And stick around. We'll be right back.